everybody. Sorry the screen's a little wobbly today. We're in motion. It's the only time I'm going to be able to get this video done. So we're just going to roll with the punches. Welcome to trucking. We're about to lose our light, so I'm going to make it kind of quick. If you need some tips and tricks, visit my page. Yes, I'm a girl. Yes, it's my truck. No, you can't drive it. And then that way you can see the comments from our other drivers. I had asked them if there was anything that they wanted to point out on today's topic, and I had quite a few drivers come back with some great tips. So definitely make sure you take a look at those just in case I forget to bring something up now. Today we're going to discuss backing. There's a few things for the new drivers out there that's going to make your life a whole lot easier. First and foremost, take your time. There's no rush to get it in the spot. Drivers would much rather see you take a little extra time getting it in than to whip it in an unsafe situation and end up taking out somebody's mirrors or something like that. So take your time. There's absolutely no rush. And it's right there on your side view mirrors. Goal. Get out and look. You get a much better view of what you need to do to get that trailer in your spot when you're looking at it from behind. So when you stand behind your trailer, you can get a better view if you need to go a little bit left, a little bit right, whatever the situation is. I've had some tips from other drivers about leaving yourself plenty of room to pull forward and make it easier for yourself to back that way. But with backing, it is definitely a situation by situation topic. Every single lot that you go into, every single shipper and receiver that you go into is going to be different. School is great when they teach you the 45 and the 90, but in all honesty, there's no such thing as a real 45 or a real 90 out on the road. Most of the time, it's this is the space that you have, now make it work. It's very important to take the time every chance you get. If you're at a DC or if you're at a drop yard or something like that and you have a little bit of extra time, even if you're at a truck stop during the day when they're not so busy, practice, 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 practice. Even move your tandems, because depending on where your tandem is located, whether it's all the way to the front or all the way to the rear, that's going to make a difference on the swing. So you need to get as much practice as you can. I know me personally, my first year out, I learned every time I backed a little bit more about backing. No one in the industry expects you to come out in your first 3, 4, 6 months and know how to get it in that hole perfectly every time. I even have my days now where it's like I have to pull up maybe 3 times because my brain is not connecting with the pedals, with my hands, with my steering. You know, it's some days are just like that, and it's not to be expected for you to be perfect every single time. What is expected is for you to be safe. What is expected is for you to get out and look. That's what's most important. I know most of our veteran drivers, that's the main thing that they keep stressing is people just whipping it in there and they're not going slow. So therefore it's too hard to make that correction when you're moving too fast. Nice and slow and steady every single time. It's a lot easier. If you're one of those who tend to oversteer, you can make that correction a lot faster and a lot easier if you're moving slower. The faster you go, it makes it that much harder for you to fix the mistake that you just made. And that's the thing, oversteering. I had one gentleman, he left a comment and he gave a tip of holding the bottom of the steering wheel so that when you're backing, it's not in reverse. If you're going right, it'll go right. If you're going left, it'll go left. So that's an easier way if you're having that hard time connecting with everything is backwards. That's an easier way maybe to practice your backing so you can get an understanding of the trailer and which way it moves, is hold the bottom of the steering wheel rather than the top of it. Another tip that I teach my students is put your hand at the dead center. And when you're getting to the point where you're almost at a straight line, you basically just quarter turns. Anytime your hand moves more than, your face facing down to facing side, anything more than a side facing wrist is too much turn. Again, each situation is different, like I said, depending on where those tandems are. So the more you practice with your truck, each truck is different. A Peterbilt has the widest turn radius, where a Freightliner, in comparison, it almost feels like it turns on a dime. So learn your truck, figure out how it turns, and practice with that trailer at your tandems in different places so you can get a real feel for the swing as you go back. And just be mindful, if your tandem is all the way forward, you don't have to turn that steering wheel quite as hard. If your tandem is all the way back, you're going to have to steer a lot harder. That's kind of a good judgment too, is, you know, if it's all the way back, your wrist goes all the way around. If it's all the way forward, you don't have to turn quite as much. When you're backing, especially at night, turn off your headlights. It blinds the other drivers. I know this rule. I made a mistake one day at our DC, and one of my fine fellow drivers was like, "Hey, you blinded me while I was backing, and you know, you made me look like a rookie." And you know who you are, because I know you watch my videos, and I'm so sorry for that, because I do know better. I did not have my coffee yet that morning, and I had a blonde moment. It does happen. Just, you know, if it bothers somebody, just show you're apologetic. We don't always do things to be mean. It's just we weren't thinking at the moment. But do try that once you're finished your back, make sure those headlights are off so that the other drivers who are trying to back at the truck stop or at the DCs or at your shippers and loaders or shippers and receivers, make sure those headlights are off, because it's very distracting for another driver. One of the other things that was mentioned was, so basically, when you're backing, say there's a spot and it's empty. The entire place is full, but there's this one spot that's empty and it's kind of questionable and you're not sure, can you or can't you? Don't do it. I always say, when in doubt, check it out, because there's usually a reason why everybody else did not take that spot. Whether it's somebody's in the line crooked and you're going to take the chance of hitting them. And I guarantee you, if you're one of those, you know, hard charging drivers, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I got this. Most times you don't. And it's not that you're a bad driver or bad at backing. It's just, there's a situation with those trailers, especially at night. It's dark, it's hard to see. There's a reason why no one else backed there. So take that into consideration. Definitely get out and with your flashlight and take a look at the entire space and figure out why no one else backed there. So be careful of that, especially oversized. Don't try to squeeze in next to an oversized trailer. They tend to take up 2 parking spots because they need to. It's safer for their load. It's safer for you, so no one's scratching anything or hitting anything or causing damage to anything. So give those oversized loads the space that they need, just like you would want the space that you need. I know I had a ton of other tips. I am drawing a blank at the moment. So like I said, definitely do go onto my page. There was a post from yesterday asking if there was anything that needed to be mentioned and brought up today. And there's a lot of really good advice on there. So just take a peek, listen to the other drivers. Everybody's more than willing to help you out. We know you're new on the road, and even some of us who are been on the road or have been a veteran for a long time, we have our days. We have our off days. Sometimes we need to be reminded. So just share with everybody. If you have a specific question, like there's a situation that you're in and you're wondering how to handle it, go ahead and write a post, and I, as well as the veteran drivers, will try to help you out with that. So hopefully everybody's having a good week. I do apologize again for the fuzzy, quick footage, but that's trucking. Some days we just don't have time, right? So have a great and safe week, and I will talk to everybody next week. Bye, guys.